Well, the end of the month is here, and it is time to do a reading wrap up. And this month was a fantastic month for me. I read 7 books, all of them were fantastic. I learned a lot of things this month, and next month has some awesome things planned, but I'm going to get to that in a different video. But for this one, I want to focus on the books that I've read. Some of these I'm still working on reviews on. I'll have them up shortly within the next few days. Some of them are already up on my channels. You can check those out. The Black Jacobins by C.L.R. James. This book was phenomenal. This one was very different from any of the history books that I've read, mainly because this thing was written in the 1930s, so the viewpoints are very different from more modern historians. This one does cover the slave revolt that happened on Haiti, and this one is a definite must-read. It does rely on you knowing a little bit about the geography of the island and also have a decent knowledge of the French Revolution, because both of those are referred to a lot in this book. Empire of Pain is probably the book that I've most favorited this month. I really enjoyed this book. There were times where I was extremely frustrated. This covers the opioid crisis, how it transformed, and the family behind it all. And the actions of this family slash corporation of Big Pharma was just outrageous. And the targeting that they purposely did was the area of frustration for me. This one, if you want to understand more of the opioid crisis, then this is definitely a must read. One of the lighter books that I read this month, and this one was really hard to put down, but if you grew up in the 70s and 80s like myself, you know that Sesame Street, and even today, Sesame Street is an icon, and it is one of those core memories that you have while you are watching TV as a young child. And this one here is called Street Gang, and it is the complete history of Sesame Street, and it's by Michael Davis. I have been told that there is a really interesting documentary that goes along with this book. I haven't found it yet, but I'm going to check it out. Another book that I absolutely loved, I just finished this one yesterday, is Empire of the Summer Moon. And this one is subtitled Quina Parker and the Rise and Fall of the Comanches, the most powerful Indian tribe in American history. This is by S.C. Gwynn. This one has 2 interlocking storylines to it. You have Quina, who is a young child, and you can see that he's beginning to grow up in the Comanche way. And in a intertwining storyline, you have his mother, and who is Cynthia Ann Parker, who at 9 years old, she was kidnapped by the Comanche. She lived with the Comanche for decades. She was then recaptured by her white family, and she hated it. And they took her from Texas, where most of the story, between Texas and Oklahoma, where most of the story takes place. And she really lives in a life of captivity, really by her white family. On the same track, you have her son, which is Quina Parker, who becomes a very famous Comanche leader and ultimately does some really great things for his people. So this is one of those, it just was a fantastic read. It was hard to put down. It's well researched, and it was very easy to understand. So definitely go out and pick this one up. For September, the Double Shots and Historic Plots Book Club, we read Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson. This was a reread for me. This one is, again, this is one of those books that I've talked about before on this channel that doesn't matter how many times I've read it. I don't know what to do with the information after I have read this thing. I understand that nuclear war is very possible. We have a lot of crazy people in this world who are leaders of different countries with nuclear weapons, but I don't know if I would be able to survive knowing what you find out in here. So if you haven't read this one, I would definitely check it out. This is definitely it's a scenario, and it is one of those that Annie Jacobson places you right inside that scenario, and it really will scare the crap out of you. Six Women of Salem. This is subtitled The Untold Story of the Accused, Their Accusers in the Salem Witch Trials. And this is by Marilyn K. Roach. This book is a great introduction into the Salem Witch Trials. If you haven't had a foray into the witch trials, this is a great entry point into that. Finally, the last book that I read this month. This one was awesome. I'll be honest. I absolutely loved this last book, and it is The Demon of Unrest by Erik Larson. I absolutely love Erik Larson's work. I have praised him on this channel several times. This is another great book. This one here covers the first 5 months right before the Civil War, and you see the end of James Buchanan's presidency with the beginning of Abraham Lincoln's presidency, and with the tensions that arise around Fort Sumter. So if you want a good idea of the chaos right before the Civil War, then this is definitely one that you want to pick up.